Every home cook has that one dish they are more confident in than any other, that one dish that they know can truly blend in with the pros, or can it? Because today, one imposter chef takes on two incredibly professional mythical chefs to see if they got what it takes to graduate from amateur status. So everybody, please put your hands together and welcome today's competitor, Chef Mica herself, Mica Burton!
Hi.
Mica, you are an amateur chef.
Yes. Well, first of all, how dare you? But second of all, you're right.
But you got the professional chef. You look way more professional. I'm wearing
honestly
shorts. Looks like I'm not wearing pants.
It does look like you're not wearing pants.
Well,
the only reason I have this is because I have a professional chef's godfather, and he taught me my knife skills. And so if he has a chef's coat, I have a chef's coat. There's also a Pikachu on it.
That is really impressive.
I like Pikachu.
What is your godfather?
I don't have a godfather.
No, my dad borrowed money from my godfather. Now he's not in the picture.
Well, now I've made this awkward.
Mica, today, can you tell us what your signature dish is and what Nicole and I will be cooking for our judge?
My signature dish is going to be steak and potatoes.
Boo!
Wow,
I don't know what.
That's
You know
incredible. That's very exciting for me.
Can he just not be a part
Yeah,
of it?
yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, switch.
Thank you, thank you. Anyway, so my signature dish is gonna be steak and potatoes. I feel like it's just like a really simple dish that you can really bring your own style to, but I know that I can make really nice seared steak, so that's my choice.
Mica, I can't wait to see what you put together. Nicole and I are gonna create our own renditions of that, and then those are going to be blind tasted by our judge to see if they can catch the imposter chef. To prove how much of a professional chef I am, I'm going to make two dishes that nobody's ever heard of and that don't taste very good. Well, to them. To me, they're actually literally my favorite preparations of steak, separately from my favorite preparation of potatoes. We're doing Sichuan stir-fried potatoes. The interesting thing about them is that they're pretty much raw. They're very, very crunchy, but it's a super unique way to consume a potato, and you got a ton of great aromatics in it. And then for the steak, we're going entrecôte Mica Burton. This is a classic French escoffier dish that is mostly a ton of butter and anchovies, topped on one of these really thin-cut French bistro-style ribeyes. I first had it at a restaurant called Song Long, a Vietnamese spot in Fountain Valley. Shout out Little Saigon, Asia Garden Mall. Y'all know you roll through there in the boba shop, you smoke a bunch of hookah with your friends when you're 17 because you thought that made you cool. All right, so we're gonna start on these potatoes. This should be a pretty quick recipe. We're gonna get a whole lot of oil down in our wok, and we're gonna start getting our ginger. There we go. And our chilies, woks, you gotta move real fast on this. This is gonna burn. We're just gonna get these fried off and aromatic the chilies are getting you. For about 30 seconds, we're gonna crank this to high. Garlic burn, gotta go potatoes, fast. There we go. Most people don't think of being able to eat potatoes in that sort of raw form, but it's really, to me, an incredibly unique way to showcase the potato and what it can do. And, son of a biscuit. So we're going chunking vinegar. We got soy, gotta have MSG, that's the love in food. A little bit of sugar just to get some browning on that wok, and then we're gonna hit it. A little bit of soy, little bit of vinegar, fantastic, and we're just gonna get this moving. It's gonna be 30 seconds in here, and then we're out. There we go, beautiful. Toss those in, let it go for another 30. Steak, ribeye, a lot of people think of this as the absolute king of steak. It's one of my favorites to consume. I love the French bistro style where it's really, really thin. You don't have to reverse sear it, you don't have to do anything crazy. You turn and burn 30 seconds on both sides. I don't think this is gonna be a winning dish necessarily. I only cook this because I like to eat the leftovers because the judge takes like 2 bites, and then a lot of people are like, what happens to the food? It's Josh, he's a little goblin, he comes over and he goes, steak, we got pepper. Gonna hit it with a fair amount of salt, and then rip roaring hot pan. We're just gonna get some oil in. We wanna get a lot of that crust, a lot of that nice Maillard reaction that a lot of steak fiends talk about, and boom, right in there. Bail. Hold on, we tried to use the small burner, but the small burner sucks. I'm gonna see if this burner works better. You guys think, oh, yeah, really laugh it up. As far as like not getting caught as the imposter chef, steak and potatoes, it's a good dish to go with because it's simple. However, it's also very technique based. And so like if Mica's not on her P's and Q's on this, I think she can get caught. But here are things we know about her. Rides horses. People who ride horses they got, what, like a strong core? That helps in steak cookery, right? You know how to control animals. This is a dead animal. There we go. Nice crust on that for part of it. Now we're gonna take, so this is anchovy butter. If you see, we got a bunch of anchovies right here. You just eat them straight, it's great. I'm gonna taste it with potato. And then we have anchovies that have been blended with butter. We're gonna baste this in that anchovy butter. It's gonna be real nice. So again, this restaurant, Song Long, there's a lot of big French influence in Vietnamese food and vice versa because of a whole legacy of colonialism. So a lot of restaurants will have like a Vietnamese menu and then a menu of French food as well. And that's what they had at the spot. I'd never heard of the dish entrecôte Mica Burton. I ordered it, steak covered in fish. To me, it just really livened and brightened everything up, and it was really fantastic. That's looking nice. You know, that buttermilk over the top. Let's plate up, man. Oh God, those anchovies are strong. I should have watched my salt levels. Does our judge today have any like history of hypertension? There we go. That's a lot of potatoes, dude. That's way too many potatoes for shoot. Beautiful, nicely crusted, sopping in butter. Absolutely zero rest time. This is going directly next to the potatoes. I'll pretty it up later. And then what you have to do is you actually shingle on the anchovies in the classic escoffier preparation. There would also be olives, but when I had it at this restaurant, they did not serve it with olives. This looks like a child made it. What's wrong with me? Mica, I imagine, is gonna come in with something like a quick pan sauce that she saw in like a Jamie Oliver episode, am I right? Or were you a Tyler Florence girl? Little Thai flow? Little Thai flow?
Leave me out of it.
And then boom, you take a little bit of pocket parsley right in the middle. To me, this is a very modern bistro take on steak and potatoes. Sichuan stir-fried potatoes, entrecôte, Mica Burton, thin cut, bistro-style ribeye, big old flavor punch from anchovies and a lot of chili. This is like a steak dinner on acid, man. This is the Hunter S. Thompson of steak dinners, and I'm in.
Okay, so I'm not as chaotic as Josh, but he started with a story about where this dish came through, but I think he also started, so I'm gonna do things. Okay, so I'm gonna take a heck ton of butter, I'm gonna use this knife. No, that knife's for potato, but that's fine. Okay. Frick, this is so nerve-wracking. How does he do this on a daily basis? Okay, so I'm gonna butter. So the reason I like this dish is because it is super easy, and my mom told me that when you start dating somebody, if you wanna impress them, you should cook them something fancy. And so she said that something super easy to make and also make look pretty is a nicely seared steak and like a very simple potato, even though apparently Josh was talking about steak and potatoes, but that's because he has no taste, and that's fine. Okay, so I think I want it to be like super duper hot, because the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is put a steak in when it won't get the nice crust on it, and I don't want that to happen. So while that's heating up, I'm just gonna talk to you guys. Hi, put down in the YouTube comment what your favorite cut of meat is, or if you're a vegetarian, what your favorite vegetable is. Is that interaction? You're welcome, audience.
Celery root.
Why?
Season your steak.
Oh my God, you're right. I'm gonna season steak. I like to season both sides before I put it in. I have too many things in my hand. I'm doing the classic girl claw. You can carry everything in your life just in your hands. Okay, now I'm gonna put it in. Yay, it's sizzling. Okay, so I'm gonna sear it on both sides for 2 minutes, or like however long you want, I don't know. Nothing is precise. Everything is chaos. I'm just rambling. Is this why everybody just rambles on this show? Because you just get nervous and you just keep talking? Oh, I feel like I'm having an existential crisis. So I'm gonna take the rest of this butter because, you know, if it's on a YouTube show, calories don't count. And then, I'm not sure how to do it properly, but how I always do it with steak is I put in little aromatics into the butter. Oh, do I have a spoon for basting? I do have a spoon. I don't know if it's for basting, but I'm gonna use it. Put a lot of, oh no, it's mad at me. Oh no, not working fast enough and it's mad at me. Okay. I'm going to turn over. Oh, that's pretty, yay. And then I'm gonna do the thing that always makes me nervous. I don't have the terrifying, powerful hands as everybody in the Mythical kitchen does when they like pick up hot things and just act like it's not hot, and it's definitely hot, but they're super talented. This is why I'm the imposter, because I can't pick up burning steak with my bare hands. But anyway, I don't even know if this is proper technique, but this is what I've always done, and it's always tasted pretty good, so, you know, fake it till you make it, am I right? That's just my entire life. Oh my God, I'm revealing a lot about myself on this show. This is just turning into actual chaos. Okay, I'm gonna get it a little bit on the sides because I wasn't expecting such a nice thick fillet. So usually I put it in the cast iron skillet in the oven, but we're gonna put it on this nice little pan that was provided to me by the beautiful Nicole. She's so lovely, she's so much better than Josh. And so we're gonna put it on this little pan here, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven for about like 5 minutes, because I like it a good medium rare. Now I'm gonna make a red wine reduction. I'm going to attempt to make a red wine reduction. So I'm gonna use the drippings from the steak, and I'm gonna put in all of these shallots, and I'm gonna put in the garlic. You know what? The garlic was definitely for the steak, and I totally forgot about it. I'm gonna just put it in anyway. You know what? You know what? Whatever. This is just happening. This is just. No, it's yelling at me. I'm not telling you what's going in here. It's beef stock and balsamic vinegar. Red wine reduction. You need red wine. There's no measuring cup. That's probably too much. Anyway, this is gonna reduce down into a sauce, but that takes a really long time. Feel like that TikTok. Sure, son, a single mom who never stops, you know? Oh, it's 1:30. That's fine. That's fine. It's 125 to 130 is medium rare, I'm pretty sure. I could be lying. I could have made this all up. Oh my gosh, I have a potato. Oh no, okay. Oh no. Yeah. I have a pocket for spoons specifically on this thing, and I've forgotten about that. Okay, I'm gonna take a potato. I'm gonna put a potato on a plate. I'm gonna put it on the plate I'm gonna plate with because I can't find another plate. I forgot about the pocket again. Okay, so I'm gonna take a potato. I'm gonna split the potato in half, like so. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? No, chefs do this for a reason. There's a spoon pocket here for a reason. There, all right, this feels much better. So I'm going to take salted butter. I'm gonna just kind of lather it in this potato because nothing goes better with carbs than carbs. And while the butter is just like saturating, I'm gonna take a little bit more salt because if your potato is bland, then what's even the point? I'm gonna put pepper in, and then I'm gonna put some chives. The spoon is for the chives, and I used my fingers, and the spoon is in my hand. I'll never work in this town again. And then I have some sour cream. I haven't stirred this in a while. Okay, now we're gonna use my non-dominant hand. Who needs sour cream when you have cheese, am I right? It's just another dairy product. Not too much cheese because unmelted cheese hurts people's souls. If you were wondering why a strainer was here, because I don't want all of these little bits and bobs. Some people do bits and bobs, but I'm not a bits and bobs person. Oh my God, cast iron is heavy. I thought I went to the gym. What happened to me? I only do leg day. This is what happens when you only do leg day. Oh my God. Okay, Mica, okay. You know, maybe this is just inherent self-sabotaging trauma like what Josh was talking about. I'm just expecting it to go wrong. So if I just say that it's worse than it is, then maybe nobody will make fun of me. Because that's what we're all really afraid of on the internet, right? Is just somebody that you don't know saying that you suck. Spoon rest. Finally! Yes! I'll put this here. Plating always has to look green. That's what I've learned. Although I did learn that if you just put parsley on your plate for no reason, you're tacky. I don't know why I said that. And then I'm gonna yay, red wine reduction. Should have tasted it. I'm just putting it on the steak and hoping for the best. No, it's going everywhere.
Hello and welcome to Impostor Chef. I am not an imposter. I'm one of the 2 legitimate chefs on this show. So I've made this before for a huge group of my friends, and I did a whole steak tour of the world. So I did a French style steak with entrecote butter. I did a Vietnamese board sauce steak. But this is the most popular steak I made. This is an ahi amarillo ribeye with some crispy quinoa and papas fritas. Now, this steak dish, not to toot my own horn, but beep beep, it's pretty damn delicious. So I'm gonna start by making my compound butter. The first thing I'm gonna do is add some lime zest and a touch of lime juice. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, a touch of aji amarillo paste. Ugh, this stuff is like phenomenal. It's just a gorgeous flavor, and it really accents meats very, very nicely. And it's just really going to create the most gorgeous steak butter imaginable. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix this up a little bit. So, Impostor Chef. Josh made a really dumb dish. I don't understand it very, very much. The peppers were a little bit too much. The steak was quite raw, like when I saw it, and that steak was not cooked. And all in all, that's just a dish that I don't understand very well, you know? I don't get the anchovy butter. I love anchovies. I can eat anchovies like on their own, but something about the way that dish came together doesn't really say professional to me, no offense. But Mica's dish, now, I respect the way that she cooked that meat. I mean, the whole entire thing was super classic, absolutely delicious, something that I could imagine myself ordering. So she might give me a run for my money. But Josh, he's gonna lose. And that's like super satisfying because he like kicks my butt in like a lot of these cooking competitions, but not this time, young man. Nope, not this time. So I already did this like a few hours ago because I don't have time, but let me show you how beautiful it looks once you do it the right way. Please clap. Thank you. But we are going to be using a boneless ribeye. Why are we using a boneless ribeye? Well, the marbling is absolutely gorgeous in this. It's totally unctuous. It makes for a really delicious steak eating experience. It is a little bit on the thicker side. Gonna add a little bit of oil. Watch it shimmer. Watch it shine. Yeah, there we go. Gorgeous. Okay, once we have some nice rippling, once we have some nice shimmering, a little bit more oil. And then we're just going to take my tongs. Oh, hello. And then we're gonna pop this in. So I'm a little bit of a weirdo. I only season one side of my steak and then I press it in really nicely and then I season the other side. Is there a point to this? Absolutely not. So that's my little method of seasoning steaks. I'm not gonna touch it. The most important thing about steak, don't touch it. Just let it do its thing, let it build its crust. And once it gets nice and crusty, then you can flip it over and do all your basting. Okay, so our steak looks really good. It smells delicious, but we're gonna peek at the undercarriage and see what we're going with. I would say it needs about another minute or so, and then we'll give it a nice flip. But while that's happening, let's cook up some papas fritas, also known as French fries, also known as steak frites. Let me move this over. So I already blanched these so they could get an initial cook, and now I'm just gonna drop these in so they can get nice and crispy and brown and gorgeous. Just go ahead and drop these bad boys in. This is kind of a riff on a French steak frites dish, entrecôte, which is very, very famous in France. I've been to France once, and it was really bad. The only good part was that I ate like escargot like 4 times, but other than that, I gotta go back again. My experience was there was much left to be desired. Okay, we got a crust of sorts going on. That's good. We got a crust of sorts, so I'm just gonna let this go. I'm gonna let my French fries cook, and I'm gonna just do the thing. Look, see, they're getting nice and brown. That's what you want. You want a brown fry. It's the magic. Then I'm gonna start basting. So I'm gonna add some cold cubes of butter, and then I'm gonna add some garlic cloves. Move it over to the side, move it over to the side, and then we baste. Look like a wrist. Alrighty, just baste that bad boy all over the place. Now let's look at our fries. Now that's what I call brown. So we're just gonna drop these in here, and I'm not gonna remove the oil because I wanna win. So I'm just gonna season this with a touch of salt. And I'm gonna add my chives to the French fries actually. Okay, give that a nice toss. I'm just gonna let these hang out for a little bit, and I'm gonna keep basting. I'm gonna keep basting, baby. Oh, that's a good crust. Do you see that? That's what you want your steak to look like. That crusty. That's a good crusty steak right there, my guy. There we go. Let that butter just foam over the top. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. We're gonna cut a little circle, and then we're gonna take our steak. I'm not gonna let this rest. We're gonna set this on right there. We're gonna add our French fries. Make sure you get all those chives there. Add a little circle of our ají amarillo butter. It does not matter if it's breaking apart because sometimes things fall apart, but you can't, okay? Don't. I'm gonna put that right on the top. and little by little it's gonna melt over the steak and make a beautiful, beautiful yellow hue on the top. And then here's a little fun thing. I made crispy quinoa. And all you do with the crispy quinoa is you cook quinoa like you normally would, and then you put a bunch of olive oil, and then you put it in a pan, and then you cook it, and it's a nice little crunchy bite with your steak. And there you have it, steak frites a la Peru. You're going down, Mica and Josh. Get wrecked.
Jordan from spork.com. Welcome.
Thanks, I'm excited to be here.
No problem. You cannot see us, but we can see you. And you have 3 steak and potato dishes in front of you. One of them was cooked by an imposter, an amateur who thinks they can hang with the pros. Jordan, it is your job to decide which one of these steaks is actually a fakes.
Great. Okay, I'm gonna start, this one's the most beautiful, so I'm gonna start with this one. What is on this butter? It looks like quinoa. Is there quinoa on whatever the top of this is? Yeah, it's like crispy quinoa, I think. And then the sauce is like, some kind of butter, I don't know. That's very good. The crispy quinoa seems like a chef-y thing. Okay. Well seasoned, good crust. Okay. These potatoes are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. They look like almost maybe they were twice fried, you know? That's a very chef-y technique. Could use more salt on these fries, but very good. This feels like a real chef made it. That's my analysis of that. Okay. Loud plate. Okay. Cook nice. Not as nice, well, maybe not as nice as the other one. Okay. It tastes very good. Let's try this baked potato. Good flavor. I do wish there was like, there's a sauce. Okay, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's try this baked potato. I love a baked potato. It looks like there's no salt on the outside of the baked potato. I would say that feels not so chefy to me. I feel like if you were gonna make like a really nice baked potato, you'd salt the outside of it. But good flavor, well cooked. And then what's this sauce? Yeah, it's like a nice sauce. It's not super complex, but it tastes good. So I'm not mad at it. This one is definitely interesting. It feels like a thing Josh would make. It's a steak with anchovy fillets on top of it is what it looks like. And then some kind of, I don't know, looks like maybe caramelized onion butter or something. Or maybe anchovy butter. Maybe there's anchovies and anchovy butter. Feels weird. Also, I hate this. This feels not chef at all. I feel like most chefs would be like, don't put something on the plate you don't want people to eat. And I don't think they want me to eat this entire thing of parsley, but I feel like I should. Also, I'm not sure what's going on with these potatoes. And I don't want to be rude because maybe it's a preparation that I'm not familiar with. But they are raw potatoes that seem maybe very lightly blanched in oil that was not hot enough because they absorbed a lot of the oil. And they're spicy. There's red pepper flake on them. I still haven't tasted the steak. Okay, let's get like into the steak. There's a lot of anchovies on this. That's such an interesting choice for someone to make. Okay, hold on. And just whole, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 whole anchovies or anchovy fillets on top of this steak. It is raw. It is raw. And not, I would say not just, I mean, that's pretty, okay, I gotta eat off the edge, hold on. That feels not chefy at all, that it's so raw. But I don't know, sometimes chefs like really rare meat. Okay, we're getting a little, okay. The outside is so cooked and the inside is so raw. And there's a lot of anchovy flavor. This doesn't taste good, I would say, to me, in my experience, personally.
Jordan, thank you for your enlightening words of wisdom and nobody's feelings are hurt. Whoever made these dishes, can you tell me who the imposter chef is?
I think it's dish number 3.
No! That was mine.
Okay, but what did I say? I say that looks like a thing Josh would make, right? Like a steak with 4.
Yeah, but you're calling me an imposter.
Well, it tastes very bad. So in a way, you are. You should not be making food and
No, the real
hosting
imposter
a food.
chef was.
You shouldn't be.
Hi, I'm Mica.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That one was
Hi,
mine.
delicious.
Hey.
This was you?
Yeah.
Delicious. Both of
thanks.
these were great. I love them. This is very bad. Why did you make this?
Okay, so here, let me tell you. So
That's such a good question.
this is a dish. It's called entrecôte Mica Burton, but it's an escoffier technique with the anchovies. But I did it bistro style because my favorite restaurant does it like that, thin, only seared on both sides. It should be raw in the middle. And then these are Sichuan stir-fried potatoes. They're supposed to be raw and crunchy.
I actually thought that is what these might be, is some kind of Chinese style potato, which I've had before, but your version of it is not good.
No, that's the thing. Is sometimes I'm bad at stuff.
Yeah. Because I've had this before.
Yeah, it is normally good, right?
And it's normally really good.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
tastes bad.
He also accidentally poison gassed us while he was cooking
Correct.
it.
More than once.
Sure.
Yeah, more than once.
Sure.
It was great.
He also farted.
So I do most mornings. Tell me what you thought about Mika's dish, though.
I thought this was delicious. I thought the baked potato was perfectly cooked. I loved that you weren't shy with any of the toppings on the baked potato. And then I thought this was nice. It was really simple, really flavorful, a lot of umami, and I think it's perfectly cooked.
Thank you. It's also it's a really bad red wine reduction. I apologize.
It tastes good.
It didn't reduce enough. It was
tastes
supposed to be
delicious.
thicker.
Well, I liked it.
Thank
so.
you.
And you just thought Nicole's was just a good dish
It's just
made by a
good.
professional
It's just
chef.
really
I
good.
thought this was great. I thought the French fries were. Did you fry them twice?
Twice. Yes, I did, of
knew
course.
it.
But of course, I'm a chef.
Yes, it was delicious, and the crispy quinoa on top of the.
Did you like that?
Yeah, who
Yeah.
would do that if not, a chef?
I thought that's what I was doing with the anchovies that are all wet. But anyways, Mica, you have successfully passed as an imposter. You have fooled our professional taste tester Jordan here, or maybe I sort of self-immolated.
I was gonna say, did I
Yeah.
really win or did I just not lose?
I took some risks.
thing.
I stand by my dish. This is a good dish. Anyways, Mica, you are officially going home with your own professional Mythical kitchen apron. And Jordan, you just get to go back to like doing your normal job, I guess.
You can take the steaks home.
But for real, thank you, everybody. I mean, this shows you that good food doesn't have to be super complicated. If you cook something right, like a baked potato and a steak, that's some damn good food, and I'm honored to call you a chef. Mica, where can the people find you?
Thank you. You can find me everywhere at Mica Burton on Twitter and Instagram. And you can also find me on season 3 of Star Trek Picard, now streaming on Paramount Plus. Yay!
Here, you can take mine. I
He
don't.
doesn't deserve it. It's mine now. Now I have a chef's coat and an apron. This is so big on me.
Go, fight, win! Introducing our most academic apparel yet, the Mythical Randlers mascot sweatshirt. Score yours now at mythical.com.